सही है. Very well, how are you?
Come a little bit nearer. Should I sit on his lap? He doesn't smile when he's wearing a tie. You loosen the tie, he smiles more. And we're starting.
It's a big pleasure for me to welcome you to the press conference of Alange Sohne. In the long history of our quite a few discussions with you and your colleagues in the past years at several occasions in Geneva, for example, where you have been asking, when are you coming to India? And we always replied, we would like to come, but we need to have the products, and this was difficult due to our limited production capacity. But now we are here and we are very happy in Alange Sohne to come on stage and to welcome you personally.
Not only I would say the ideas of Alange Sohne, but also watchmaking and a lot of more. Maybe one day you will have the opportunity to see it. And Sebastian Vossmann, you guys are all in the back. We come in the front, so I see you. And Sebastian Vossmann, International Forum.
Just to show you where we're coming from, German brand from the eastern part of Germany, from a little town called Glashütte, which is 30 kilometers south of Dresden. Dresden is the capital of the Free State of Saxony, and Dresden is located about 200 kilometers south of Berlin. Hope everybody will come one day. It dates back to Ferdinand Adolf Lange, the founder of our brand, who was born in Dresden. He was a watchmaker, he was a brilliant watchmaker, and he was a genius also in kind of being business in England and Switzerland, and he brought a lot of knowledge back to Dresden. And for example, with very famous travel and journey book, which we still keep in our treasure chamber in Glashütte, in our tech showcases here. And in this book, he has kept all his knowledge about watchmaking of his time. Watches in Dresden, and one very famous piece, not a real watch, it's a quite big watch. It's a so-called first digital watch in the world. It's a 5-minute digital watch, which is in the Semperoper in famous outside state of Alange Sohne. But we will see more about that later. In 1845, Adolf Lange moved to Glashütte to start his business, and it was very sunny. There have been many important pocket watch timepieces from the old era of Alange Sohne. For example, this one, the watch which was Turkey Abdul Hamid II. It's still presented in the Topkapi Museum in Istanbul. World War II, it was occupied by the Soviets. The whole brand was expropriated, was nationalized, and the proud name young men in these days had to flee to the western part of Germany, and it seemed as the history of Lange had stopped. But fortunately, after the German reunification and after the Berlin Wall came down in December, Walter Lange came back to re-establish his family. Active, representing the company, and he asked us to give you his very best regards. Unfortunately, he was not able to travel this time with us to India, but I think he is with us. and at least in mind, with almost all parts of the movement in-house. The whole company now has almost 500 employees, and this is something now where we can see what Frank Wolf is doing. Can go live again, yes. For example, I don't know, Frank, if you want to join.
Actually, just had a couple of questions that I would like to ask you.
Okay.
To start with, I mean, if you could just tell me exactly, like, are there any major phases in terms of putting it together, like any, like a system that you follow, like this must go first? Because it all seems really like small and minute to me.
Okay, the pieces are very small, you can see little pieces, and today in the evening I would like to show you the assembling of a Lange movement.
Yes.
You can see different pieces, and I would like found the correct position of the different pieces, and I must adjust it, the function of different pieces. This watch is the Lange one, is one from our first movements, what we presented in the year '94. In the last 70 years, says we have 25 different movements.
And how long does this take to put together?
Normally, from the beginning in our factory, from the first part on the CNC or on the, I show you, I hope. Light on. And you can hear. Oh, it's not so really loud, but I hope you can hear the heart is beating, the heart of the watch. Yeah, yes.
Actually, that's not a drummer. So the watch came to life, which is a beautiful moment, which a watchmaker a day has this moment around maximum one time, so it's not really a lot. And another, and what Arne was telling us, the double assembly. So Frank Wolf actually had prepared here a movement which was ready, one, and another movement outside. The movement, how it is when you assemble it the first time. You see, it is really not yet as nicely decorated than in the left part. This is really the fact that the finishing and the finishing till the end comes only when we're completely sure that all functions are working. So we disassemble and assemble and then finish it like on the left-hand side. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So, sorry. So maybe we can kind of, sorry, just go. What was telling us before, I would say that the commitment of Lange is really to, that all the cases are all in gold or in platinum. So no steel at all. The hand-polished cases, they're all hand-polished, the cases. The crowns are in solid gold. And also these are not in steel, is something very traditional on the one side. On the other side, of course, you have to try to be innovative. So we have the Alange Sohne watches have all the old Glashütter 3/4 plates, and as we see the hand-engraved balance curve, which we watch from Alange Sohne as a gimmick. I would say the function are always useful, meaning like the zero reset, like the big day, and other functions which we have launched in last year. But Farhan, you know that all because you've been in the factory, in the manufactory in July.
August, actually.
Was it August? That was a check, if you remember.
I remember when I traveled there, I really did not know what to expect. I went there with a very, how would I say, common knowledge of what a watch is like. You know, you just strap it onto your wrist and it tells you the time. But you really don't know what goes into the making of it, what makes it tick, so to speak. And it was very fascinating to see it all coming together. it coming together in an extremely conducive and creative environment where everybody was kind of very focused on creating very individual pieces of art, so to speak. You know, I would not categorize it as an instrument as much as I would a piece of art. I remember there was this like a magnifying glass. The first time I actually witnessed the way the heartbeats of the watch, and I was very, very moved by that. Surprising, I mean, you never really think that a piece of machinery, so to speak, you know, could really touch you in that way, but it did. I found the entire atmosphere, like I could draw, you know, but all come there with one common goal, you know, to give the best that they can to create something that will be remembered forever and ever. And I saw the same kind of passion in the people when I visited your manufacturing.
In fact, when Farhan came to Glashütte and to the manufactory, there were no big plans, but he was so passionate about what was happening. And actually, the first movement he was talking about was actually the datograph movement, which he saw under the loop. So we said, this is actually the...
In July.
Exactly. Yeah. So we brought the watch, and since then, there's each timepiece of Alange Sohne has a very individual balance crook. So that means that it is did do the engraving, because it's definitely, each engraving is different. And it's like, Anna, does it get off?
There's a part of me that doesn't want to let it go.
It's kind of not getting off, but that's always with the... You put it quite tight on, huh?
I love it dearly.
So here you see first the... Okay, so Helmut Wagner already checked it. Of course he remembers that he did it, and his colleague Stefan Petermann did do the engraving of the balance curve. Actually, Helmut Wagner always has all of his colleagues' engravement here in form as a picture. So I would like to give you, Farhan, this document where it shows that it's from Stefan Petermann.
Thank you very much, Fabian.
Okay, so let's...
Thank you.
Coming to India, hopefully it will not be the last one, because we are now, from today on, we will be in India, and it was not that easy to choose the right partner who really represents the brand in India, or at least, let's say, in Bombay. That it's very, very, very exclusive and very difficult to choose the right partner. Since Alange Sohne owned Malhotra, who is here, which I welcome and thank you for coming, who actually is today our partner with Beyond Luxury. The choice came on him and his team because it's really, I would say, it's a new dynamic in the... Okay, so, and it is actually also the first corner of representation of the brand in Aaron Malhotra's shop, Beyond Luxury. I think that was. Do you have anything else which you would like to? I think if there are any questions, maybe.
Yeah, if there's any questions.
Yes. Maybe you could just do a little bit of.
Farhan and Fabian, since you all have come together on this platform, do you think we can expect any more collaborations in any other areas further?
Well, I think the collaboration is like
A very respectable watch, very luxurious watch for my birthday in the film, I thought I'd probably surprise you.
Okay, so
using
wrong answer. Wrong answer from my...
That she does by me in the film.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Any other questions?
I didn't want my wife to look cheap.
Okay. Go.
you're buying the watch, you could buy it at Beyond Luxury.
If another character in my film can own your store, I have no issue with that whatsoever.
Also on the brand Alange Sohne, and especially, of course, on the success here in India. But not everybody has a glass, so we should wait. Huh? To really open one, I shouldn't say that so loud because Aaron Malhotra is here, but because it's already a big challenge to really open one retailer here in India since the production is extremely limited. So if the demand is really too big, the waiting time will be too big, and that will be a little bit of a problem. So we do not have big sales target. We should come in most important. The success comes out.
Do you already have a waiting list in the Indian market?
I was just talking before with Mr. Malhotra, and it seems so. Okay. Cheers. 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 Okay, so no more questions. Thank you very much.
I take this.
I would really like to thank this, actually this very famous,
Can you have watch in your hand, Farhan?
Farhan, just show the watch now.
Can we see the watch? It's covering your. Yeah, but that's.
James Bond is
Hello. Hello. Hello.
स्टेज पे इधर ही रहना, स्टेज पे मत जाओ.
हेलो 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 हाँ माइक माइक इधर से दो.
हाँ उधर